First Things First is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. I'm Jenna Wolf. There's Nick Wright. Kevin Wilds, all smiles this morning. Greg Jennings is with us on a Tuesday. We got a fun show for you today. Big Ben found a way to recruit me. Ask Nick. That is not an easy feat. LeBron James came this close to being a Cowboy, and Cam Newton came like that close to being a Charger. That's where we start this morning. How close is that? Let me tell you, Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn admits the team did take a look at Cam this offseason after losing Phillip Rivers, but they felt and they feel better about who they currently have. Tyrod Taylor, Easton Stick, and recently drafted Justin Herbert. All right, Nick, cross another name off the potentials list for Cam Newton. You think the Chargers made a mistake by passing on Cam?
Oh, I think they made multiple grievous mistakes this offseason, and I feel badly for Anthony Lynn, a coach who I think is a good coach and a really good man who I think is going to end up paying for these mistakes with his job by the end of the season. The Chargers had an opportunity to strike some fear in the hearts of Chiefs fans, yours truly included everywhere, had they gone down, Jen, I know you love sliding doors, had they gone through a separate sliding door this offseason. Free agency started off great for them. They get Chris Harris. They supplement the tackle position with Brian Bulaga, an underrated move adding Linval Joseph. They then had to figure out the quarterback spot. Had they signed Cam, and they keep Tyrod Taylor as Cam insurance in case Cam gets hurt or in case Cam's not fully healthy, then with that number 6 pick of the draft, instead of reaching for Justin Herbert, they would have been able to take Isaiah Simmons, the stud, do-everything, I don't even know if it's fair to call him a linebacker, out of Clemson. If you had Isaiah Simmons and Derwin James, two guys who can play safety, linebacker, slot corner, maybe the two most versatile defenders in the NFL next year, to go along with Bosa and Ingram, to go along with Casey Hayward and Chris Harris, all of a sudden you have a monstrous, looming, ominous defense to deal with the Chiefs, plus Cam at quarterback and those weapons. Instead, they end up reaching for Justin Herbert at 6. They still needed that linebacker, so they trade back into the first round with the Patriots actually to get a linebacker. And now they're going to be doing a quarterback project, whether it's Tyrod for a few weeks, then Justin Herbert. So I think Anthony Lynn, unfortunately, is going to end up fired. I think the Chargers are going to be on a quarterback carousel and Wilds. I think they made a huge mistake not doing something where I think they could have been a double-digit win team again had they gone with Cam, draft Isaiah Simmons, and go that route.
Nick, have you ever seen the video of Shaq being pranked on Inside the NBA? It's April Fool's Day, and they do a list of top 10 centers. And it goes Kareem and Russell, yes. And then it starts getting to Jack Sikma and like Brad Miller, and Shaq gets up and he's about to tear the set apart. I feel like Cam can watch that video and say, is this exact same thing happening to me right now? Is this one big prank being pulled on me by the Inside the NBA staff, which is really odd because I play for the NFL and I don't see any cameras. But if we can put up the quote that Anthony Lynn had about how he felt about Cam, he says, Tyrod Taylor, Easton Stick, those are guys that a lot of people don't talk about. Stick was Division I AA. He won like 3 national championships. Heck of a leader, heck of a professional. I think he's got a bright future in this league one day. Okay, sure. But with him, Tyrod, and knowing that we had an opportunity to get one picking 6 in the draft, turns out to be Justin Herbert, all those decisions came into play when we're talking about Cam. And look, Nick, we look at Easton Stick. I love any guy named after a baseball bat. Easton Stick and Louisville Slugger from OGC are really the only two that I know, but I love them both. Easton Stick had a great career. A little Carson Wentz probably. Back-to-back championships, 29-1, and led FCS in total touchdown. So maybe he's great. But if I'm Cam Newton, and now I'm looking up on YouTube who Easton Stick is because that's who I can get a job from, it's just bizarre, and it feels like an April Fool's Day prank to me.
And listen, I'm not here, Jenna, to pick on Easton Stick, but people might say, oh, back-to-back national championships in college. What North Dakota State does is win national championships. The last 10 years in 1AA, they have won 9 of them. So if you play quarterback for them, you're going to win a national championship. But here's what the Chargers have, Jenna, at quarterback. If you took Tyrod Taylor's escapability, Easton Stick's collegiate resume of winning, and Justin Herbert's size, and Frankenstein's monstered them together, you know what you'd have? Cam Newton, who they could have just signed and not dealt with any of it. So unless they're going to do some biology experiment on their 3 quarterbacks, they probably should have just signed Cam, Jenna.
You know what, Greg? Nick and Wilds, they got points. There's a little disconnect from what Anthony Lynn said to what actually happened. Anthony Lynn said, we looked at Cam. We took a great look at him. He was an MVP. He led his team to a Super Bowl. He's seemingly healthy. He's a tremendous player. But you know what? We're good with what we got. We like Tyrod Taylor. We just drafted Justin Herbert. We're okay with the kid named after a baseball bat. We're great. We're fantastic. Do you think this team made a mistake passing on Cam Newton?
I do. I really do think they made a mistake. And for all the reasons that both Nick and Wilds made, when you look at, if you took these 3 quarterbacks and you throw in Justin Herbert, you took all 4 of these quarterbacks and they didn't have a team and they were in a draft together, you would not select any one of these quarterbacks over Cam Newton. That's the problem and the issue that I have with it. I don't care if Tyrod Taylor is on your roster or Easton Stick is already on your roster and they have a rapport with the coaching staff. That means nothing when you can upgrade and you can get a better quality, proven individual at the quarterback position to run your offense. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what's going on with this whole Cam Newton situation. I don't know where he's going to end up. I hope he ends up somewhere this year. But the Chargers could have definitely gotten better had they acquired Cam Newton and given themselves a shot to really potentially be the team that tops off the Kansas City Chiefs in that division or gives them a run for their money.
You're right, Greg. There's something turning teams off about Cam Newton. I don't think anyone can point their exact finger to it. But where does that leave us now, Nick? Where does Cam Newton go now?
All right, so I think there's 3 buckets of types of teams he could go to. And I'm still not closing the door on New England. I think once Cam can travel and meet with doctors, I think there is still oh, you're excited about that. I thought you were a javelin guy, Wilds. Now we're going to all of a sudden be seeing Photoshops of Cam the catapult catapulting over Jared the javelin, but it's neither here nor there. I still think it's possible that he ends up in New England. So the 3 buckets would be teams that don't have a viable starter. That's New England and Jacksonville. That's one bucket. The next bucket would be teams whose viable starter is about to start qualifying for senior citizen discounts. That's Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. I know we don't talk about Tampa, but you got a 43-year-old quarterback and a new system. And then the last bucket is teams whose starters they might fall out of love with. That is San Francisco and Buffalo. So those 6 teams, New England, Jacksonville doesn't have a starter. Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay have an old man starting. And San Francisco and Buffalo are ready to win right now and might have questions about their quarterback position, short or long term. So to me, Greg, those would be the 3 groups of teams I could see him going to.
Yeah, I'm not closing the door on the New England Patriots either. You hit it right on the head. I truly believe that if this team and this staff and their medical staff could actually physically see Cam Newton and work him out, see how he's moving, see his health, assess that themselves, I think that they would reconsider that situation. There's one other team that I think he could go to, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I don't think that would be a smart move for Cam, the businessman himself. I don't think that would put him in any better position to then move on the following year and acquire a better situation for himself. So I don't see him doing that.
All right, well, at least we know there are a few viable options out there that we can see. So The waiting game continues. We'll take a break. Hey, coming up, how close was LeBron James to actually signing with the Dallas Cowboys? We'll explain next on First Things First.